Hello everybody, my name is Emmett, and today I'm going to be doing a review for the TranscendThem PIP STP. Fair warning, if you don't want to see a realistic looking STP, don't watch this, because it does look pretty real, so I'll give you a second to do that. Like I said in my unboxing video that I've done for these, I did not pay for these, I was sent these to unbox and review, but I'm still going to be completely honest, it's not going to affect my review in any way. This is what it looks like. The lighting is a little better. It doesn't look quite so red and angry as it did in my unboxing video. This is the PIP painted STP. So you can see it's very detailed. The paint looks great. The silicone feels very nice. It has a sort of tapered funnel here, a little bit of a tab, although I don't know that I would adhere to this, just because personal preference. First, I will talk about aesthetics. So, like I said, it looks great. I really, really love the way that this looks. I love the detail on it. You can't really tell from this angle. You can sort of see it there, but one side of the testicles is larger than the other. I really, really like that. That's something that I haven't really seen a lot, so that's really nice. The head looks really, really good. The shaft itself, you can't really tell in this lighting, and because my camera isn't the greatest, but you can see like very faint, like little veins and stuff that legitimately look like they're just under the skin. It's really, really nice. And I don't know if I'll be able to explain this quite right, but I really like how the shaft is sort of set in to the balls instead of like the balls being here and the shaft is up here just sort of sticking out. That's actually something that I like a lot. I think it makes it look a lot more realistic. So yeah, I would give this like a 9 out of 10 for realism. It's really, really nice. The only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 is because it is fused right here to the ball, so if it had a little more movement, that would be nice. But I do understand, after looking at this, I understand why this was done, and I'll explain that when I get to the beam part. So, packing. Packing with this is actually really, really, really nice. This is probably my favorite STP to pack with. It's super, super comfortable. I was afraid that how long this funnel would bother me because with the Freedom Snoop, I actually ended up trimming this because I did not like it, like it would fold up and stuff. That's not a problem that I've had with this at all. I've been using the same harness with this. I've been, wearing the same underwear, the same pants, everything. So that's really, really nice. Shaft length for this is about 3.5 inches from this point to this point. But you only get about this much sticking out of your pants when you pee, so that might be an issue, because, it is fused. It wasn't an issue for me personally. I think it actually looked very realistic, like size-wise and stuff. This is really, really, really nice to pack with. The bulge is there, but fairly discreet. It's not super noticeable. It looks really, really natural, I guess is the word that I would find. It doesn't look any more obvious than a cis guy's would, but at the same time you can tell that there's a little bit of something there, which is nice, so it looks very natural. So I would give packing with this a 10 out of 10. I love this thing to pack with. So for peeing, the funnel is surprisingly big for an STP this size. You can see there is no spill lip around here, but that wasn't an issue for me. Personally, I did leak once or twice with this, but it was my own fault, not because of this. My anatomy is a little further back, so I sort of have to, instead of being able to use it like this, I sort of have to do this, and so it took me a couple of tries to figure that out, but once I did, I haven't had any issues with this at all. Something that I would like to point out, though, is this does have a squeeze to open urethra. And that's not something I'm a huge fan of, not in this specifically, but in any STP that has a urethra like that, just because I feel like you sort of end up with a urethra that's too small, and I feel weird like pinching my dick when I'm peeing with it. So while this does have a larger cup than you would think for an STP this size. Because the urethra is sort of small and you have to squeeze it to open it, I did have to hold back my flow with this. Not as much as some other STPs that I've used, but I did have to hold back to be able to let this drain through the smaller shaft and through the smaller urethra. But that's not really a huge issue for me because I have no problems controlling my flow. I know for some people it can be difficult. For me personally, it's not. And once I was aware that that's what I needed to do with this, I didn't have any issues with that at all. So I would give peeing with this an 8 out of 10 just because I'm not a fan of the squeeze to open urethra. It would be nice to have a bigger opening there so you didn't have to hold back. And going back to how I understand why this is fused, if you can see, the hole for this is actually very far down. The hole is like, compared to the cup, is like right here. So when you have this, sort of tilted up, things tend to go like straight out of it, especially if you have it like this. It's like straight through. And if this hadn't been fused, if like this part had been left open, then the hole would be up here. And if the hole was up here, it would be much more difficult to get this to drain out. So I see what they did, and that's actually pretty smart. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it makes using this a lot easier. You do have to sort of flip the balls up a little bit to get it to drain that little extra bit, but once you do that, like nothing stays in here other than maybe like just a drop or two, and that's it. Oh, and something that I forgot to mention, this silicone, I can't say anything for the unpainted version, but it doesn't feel tacky at all. I've not powdered this at all. Anytime I've used it, I just wash it in the shower, dry it with a towel, and it does not get tacky at all. The inside feels a little more tacky than the outside just because it's not painted, but I haven't powdered this or anything. I'm someone that is very sensitive sensory-wise, and I usually powder the hell out of all of my packers and STPs, but that's not something that I've had to do with this one, so that was really nice because it takes like one step out of keeping this clean. So yeah. If you have any other questions that you would like me to answer about this particular STP packer, please let me know in the comments down below. I will be doing a review for their larger model, the 3-in-1 packs, so be on the lookout for that. Should be out within the next few days, hopefully. So like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.